have. That was the last time I asked you to be my sponsor after I heard your story at Benevolent Street Sunday night.
Oh my goodness, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Are you going to smoke crack on TV now?
Nope, not crack.
What is that?
This is my vape.
Put it away.
I will continue to smoke on.
He said
You smoke on film?
he does. He wants it to be raw.
It's pretty raw.
It's pretty fucking raw.
All right,
Okay.
let's start.
Did you check me out when I said hello?
Check me out.
Check me out.
Yes, I checked everybody out. I mean,
So we sound fantastic.
absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I love this. Okay. We ready? Everybody?
Send it.
Are we excited? Okay. I'm just doing a pre-talk here.
Love the pre-talk.
Hey guys, I'm Tay. I'm an addict.
I'm Steve. I'm an addict.
And this is Chaos in Recovery.
A podcast aimed towards mental health and addiction in a chaotic world. And today we have with us a good friend of mine, known him for a very long time, in and out of recovery, me more so, my sponsor, Eddie, and my friend.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eddie. I'm an alcoholic and an addict.
Eddie has been, especially in the last 3 months, a substantial part of my recovery. The first time I met Eddie was maybe 7-8 years ago, I think. And I heard him speak at a meeting, Early Bird, I believe it was, and I had to, there was something about you, something about the way you talked, something about how you presented yourself in that meeting that I said, I need him as a sponsor. I didn't take it too seriously then.
No.
Yeah.
To be straight.
Yeah, to be straightforward.
Yeah.
And
You didn't.
yeah, and Eddie will kid with me a lot. That I've had Eddie as a sponsor 3 times, and he's never taken a sponsee back more than once.
Right. I did one and done.
Yeah.
So I want to know why that was. Why did you choose Steve?
No, I didn't choose Steve. He chose me. But the second and third time, I meditate a lot and connect because my perception of recovery is that I stay sober based on my relationship with a power greater than myself. I choose to call it God. And I spend a lot of time in meditation in the morning. And I'm very in tune with myself and my intuition and what God is leading me to do. And every time I met him, even though he was tragically ill and severely mentally ill, I was drawn to him. And that was like an intuition would tell me, help him again. It was like a voice. Not audible, I'm not Norman Bates, but like just this intuition that I have. And I use it a lot in recovery, a lot to help people. Yeah. And so I kept taking him back, relapse, take him back, relapse. Then this time, he was different. There was something different. And I have 2 other sponsees with him in the Big Book study we were doing. And the Big Book study is now done, but he is further along than the other 2. Wow. Right. So.
And they start at the same time?
They all started the Big Book at the same time, but 2 of them have more time than he does. So it's not about how long you have sober. It's what you do with each day and how much you apply these principles into your life. And that's what he's been doing. He was not in this cheerful, nice mood that he is in today when he started. He was darker and serious, but dark. Yeah. And I don't see the darkness today, and that's because of recovery.
Yeah. I mean, it's taken, for me, I've started the steps with a few different sponsors. One of them being you a while ago when we first met. Each time getting to step 4. My relapse cycle was 3 or 4 months sober. Okay, money's back, family's back in my life, kids back in my life.
Your health's back.
My health's back. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. Now I can go away and smoke a little meth if I want to. or drink or whatever. Mainly the last couple of years, it had to be drugs because if I had the smell of alcohol on me, I could not get away with that.
Yeah.
You know, so in my
Dad
mind,
being 35 years sober.
what's that?
Dad being 35 years sober. Your dad has a long time.
25.
25, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, even with my dad, but also with my daughter's mother, who I was usually staying with, you know, majority of the time. I think for me this time, I mean, the last year and a half, I've taken recovery a lot more seriously, you know, and the steps I took in the last 3 months, I took very seriously.
Yeah.
Every time you gave me an assignment, I made sure to not just hurry up and do it, but make sure I spent at least, especially when step 4 came, I blocked out an hour every single day. And I religiously did that hour, if not more, every single day until I was done.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting at step 9. And I'm a lot more calmer of a person, a lot more humble, a lot more open-minded. I don't feel like tied up all the time.
You're not.
You know? Yeah. And so, a little backstory. My father got sober from a woman, an older woman. She was his sponsor. And he would always tell me, you gotta find a woman to ask you the hard questions that a masculine man sometimes would not cross certain lines and ask. Because he thought of us both as very sensitive people. And we needed the hard questions to be asked. At least he did, to be sober. And I think that's what I also love about you, is that you have no boundary as far as exploration of knowledge that you need to drag out of me. And we both have very similar paths in our life, emotionally and spiritually. And so, I mean, it's made it so easy for me to talk to you, but also for you to drag shit out and me not have my fucking walls up and push you away.
Do you know why that is?
Because I'm willing?
No. Energy does not have sex, body sex. Energy is masculine and feminine. And the work I've done on myself, I have equal qualities of masculine and feminine energy. Okay. So I can switch my energy centers when I'm working with you.
And that's what attracts him.
And then he opens up.
Yeah.
I use it effortlessly throughout my life.
Wow.
Right. It's a gift.
Yeah, that is a gift.
And being gay, I'm very sensitive. I have 4 sisters, which was gay hell. But now
Wait, why was it gay hell?
Well, because it's very hard growing up with 4 sisters in Ohio in the 60s with a Marine father who carries a handgun to the grocery store. Okay. Like, that was my life.
Wow.
And there was a lot of shame. And he left when I was 9. Yeah. So I had abandonment, shame. And then my sisters were very... Women grow up faster than men, psychologically and emotionally and physically. Yeah. So my younger sisters were 13. They were women. And I was still a child, you know, in my thinking, even though I was older. Right. Because men don't mature as fast. Right. So it was very hard for me to understand self. Okay. Getting sober, doing the work, and finishing the work. Because the promises come true when you're halfway through the 9th step. You're just feeling good. But the real change will happen when you're through some amends, the hard amends. You know, you get through with them, and then all of a sudden the world opens up, and then 10, 11, and 12 are maintenance to keep you centered, to keep you moving forward in your recovery. I like that you're going to a meeting in the morning at 7 that's based on literature. Yeah. That will give you a great advantage. I go to that meeting also, but I do it online.
Right. And the meeting you're talking about, every day there is a different piece of literature. The Living Sober, the Big Book, the 12 and 12. I forget the others. it is great to have a mix like that.
Right.
And the energy in that room is something different too.
Yeah.
The people, the amount of sobriety that's in that room,
Yeah.
the amount of recovery that's in that room, and when somebody goes up and gets a chip, which they have chips every day, it's check.
Did it go off?
I don't know. No, it didn't go off.
Okay. Did it? Yep. Talk.
It's okay.
Edit. How did you hear that?
I just saw it. Check.
There's a dial that moves when you talk.
Did it die? It's okay.
It is all good. Because we can just edit this out.
Yeah, exactly.
Check.
You got it?
Good?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a really good meeting.
Yeah.
You're on.
I know.
I want you to recognize something that I have learned in my 18 years sober, that you can have as much time as you want. Without application, it means nothing. It's just time.
Yeah.
The real difference, and you've lived it, is doing something for your recovery each day to increase your physical, emotional, and spiritual wellness.
Absolutely.
You have a soul, and you have a mind, and you have a body. I loved how you observed your body healing quickly.
Sure.
And you get all pretty and wear all the nice clothes, and your mind is a train wreck.
Yeah.
A 3-ring circus with music, dun, 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 crazy train. Emotional sobriety is a big deal. I think you're starting to experience it, and that's what's creating wellness. Because you're feeling whole emotionally.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal.
Right.
I think also that your family has come back and you feel the responsibility of being a family member.
Sure.
Because you have a working hard family.
Yeah.
I noticed it in the reflection of your meeting your father.
Yeah.
The reflection of meeting your sister.
Yeah.
Because they're workers.
Right.
And you just sort of fall into that.
Yeah.
Building self-esteem by doing esteemable acts. Showing up for yourself in the morning. Start your morning. Eating good, hydrating, praying, meditating, going to work, producing, but not killing yourself.
Right. Right.
And
Finding
then
that balance.
being a father and, going to a meeting, connecting with people, connecting with me. Your brothers that are in recovery that you went through the big book with.
I feel like you're doing literally everything you can for your recovery.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all Danny.
What's that?
Danny?
Yeah, Danny. Yeah.
I mean, that kind of outside help,
Yeah.
I did outside help for a whole year.
Yeah.
I needed it.
Yeah. I mean, we both were in the same outpatient program, but I've been there for the last, on and off, the last 3 years.
I know.
But
no progress till now.
Well, there was always progress.
Little.
I think I've always been making headway while still obsessing over using. The obsession never left me.
Right. But you have to remember it was connected through tentacles to other things.
Absolutely, sure.
And that has got to be expressed.
Because
it wasn't
expand
just
on that.
Okay, my perception.
This is an analogy, though.
This is my perception.
Yeah.
And I will talk about myself, not you.
Yeah.
For me, I was a drug addict and an alcoholic, and I had sex addiction from being molested as a 9-year-old. So I had an unrealistic view of sex. I was introduced to pornography then too. So I had pornography, sex addiction, alcohol, drug addiction, a codependency because I had been abandoned, and abandonment issues. Yeah. That all together, an overbearing mother.
Sure.
Oh my God. She was a man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, emotionally. Spirit, that emotional, we talked about that energy.
Tell us about your childhood growing up.
Chaotic, emotional violence. Don't be weak. Don't show your feelings. Suppress, which creates mental illness. But I had all this stuff. I was the only boy. I had stuff.
Yeah.
What do you mean stuff? Like materialistic
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even care about that now.
Yeah.
I learned. One of my first job, though, I was making enormous amounts of money. I was only 17, show business job.
Yeah.
And I was getting paid for the way I looked, ego, thousands of dollars a week. It was the 80s, which is $10,000 now.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, I was in a relationship with somebody. He was a policeman. He was 27. I was 17.
Wow.
Daddy issues. Yeah. I mean, it's like really serious. I didn't know any of this until I got sober. And then a lot of insanity because I was drawn to people who were like me. I was drawing in people that were sick and that needed to use to not feel, to calm the inner turmoil of my existence.
Was he also an addict?
No.
No.
But he had a controlling side.
Okay.
I seem to attract narcissistic men.
Yeah.
I'm not anymore. I've come to God gave me a great lesson the last 3 years, and it was not sexual. And that was great because there was no entanglement.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know his name. I just experienced an energy surge when I was in his presence, which created a great healing in me. Because it brought all of the stuff that God wanted me to deal with to the surface. And you're going to find those in your recovery as you mature. Because I didn't really feel the spiritual presence that I do and now until I was 8 years sober. Yeah. For me. I'm the educational variety. I can go to all the meetings I want. I do the big book right away. But I needed to really forge a deep relationship with God and myself. I had a deep feeling of unworthiness that was caused by abandonment and my own betrayal of self. Yeah. Being gay in the 60s was not chic.
Right.
And then if I look like this at 63, I didn't even shave till I was 25. I was like this perpetual little boy. Yeah. And in show business, it's very powerful to look very young.
Oh, yeah.
And handsome and pretty.
Yeah.
You know, that was like but I was old, so I could act responsible to show up for work, you know, do what I had to do to perform. 3 shows a night, 6 days a week.
Were you in New York?
I did a lot of photo shoots in New York. Wow. But I did TV shows. But actually, I worked in Vegas.
Oh, you did?
3 shows a night, 6 days a week.
Wow.
Then I went to Atlantic City.
How old were you when you went to Vegas?
I was 17.
How long? How long were you there for?
Let's see. I was probably 27. And then I went to Atlantic City. And I did 2 shows a night. You make more money. Yeah. Work less. Sure. That's how show business works. And I had hundreds and thousands of stage hours. Then I did 2 shows a night. But I was really lost once I went there. Terry, my partner. Yes. He for some reason he drank a bottle of wine and he took his own life. And that created the deep abandonment that I'd already had. And it just accelerated my alcoholism and drug addiction.
Why? Did he leave a note or anything?
No. And what was worse was during that time I was opening a new show in Atlantic City. And when you're doing shows to open them, it's all rehearsals all day. It's not glamorous at all. Right. It's glamorous when people say that you're in show business and you make money, but it's work. And my producer found out that Terry had died, but he's so selfish and self-centered. I was doing 3 songs and I would interrupt his show. Ugh. And the only reason I found out was the other people in the show found out because they knew him. Yeah. And they were like, dude, we're going to tell him if you don't tell him. So he told me opening night. And as a good alcoholic that I am, I just pushed the feelings down, did the shows like nothing was wrong. And that was my biggest mistake because I never actually grieved. Yeah. I never saw him like buried. I did not go through the process of life that we need to heal. And I just drank and drugged on it, which made me very spiritually sick. Grieving is a huge part of being human.
Sure.
So I left that show because that's where my problems were. Oh, yeah, of course. And I went to another show where I just did 1 show a night. Wow. And they were all amateurs. They just starting out. I'd had hundreds of thousands of stage hours, filled my ego when I performed. Very sophisticated.
Headman on the totem.
Yeah, very sophisticated, which really pissed off the MC.
When did you stop show business?
39. Wow. I retired. I had a place on the beach in South Beach, and I didn't do anything but drink warm vodka off the dresser. I did that, And I would go out to the beach in the morning and talk to God, what I thought was. And actually, it saved me because my sibling found me. That was a God shot.
Yeah.
I was 44. My mom had fallen and broken her legs. And it brought me to Rhode Island. I didn't even know what it was.
Wow.
I looked on a map, and it was like this little teeny dot. I'm like, because I lived in big cities.
Yeah.
Why would I go to Rhode Island? R-I in the water with an arrow. It's like, oh, my God. These people are savage. I wonder if they have electricity there. Like, that's how I want.
Being from California, a lot of my family friends would be like, "Is Rhode Island in Boston?" I'm like, "You don't know."
No.
No, a lot of people don't know.
They're rednecks, aren't they? They don't speak real English, right? Did they have clothes? No, I was like, all these things. And it got me sober because I just knew I couldn't drink, and I went to Early Bird, a meeting I'm still going to.
Yeah.
And it saved my life. I just started going to a lot of meetings and met somebody 5 days sober, and he said, listen, there's a solution.
Yeah.
And I started working on the solution that we worked on.
Right.
5 days sober.
Wow.
I couldn't read. I couldn't do anything. He just would read to me like you were having done to you.
Oh.
Much slower, of course.
Yeah.
Brian reads fast.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. So I
How long ago was that?
18 years ago, June 20th is my anniversary. I'll have 19 years June 20th.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was 5 days sober, so I was the 25th.
Yeah.
And I was like amazed. I'm doing the same exact thing that I got sober I did to you.
Right.
That's why you're acting like this.
Sure.
Because it's the only way I know how to get people sober. There was some other man that was with us originally. You remember him?
Yes.
He bailed because some people can't take it. This intense energy to get well. Like you both did it. But a lot of people can't. I mean, you're still in the middle of it.
Right.
But, a lot of people will not see themselves through it. They'll bail on themselves.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah.
How can I do this? What do I need? Do I need to really say everything?
Yeah.
Oh my God, people are going to know my secrets
Right.
because you're just that interesting.
Yeah.
It's a disease.
Yeah.
It's very tough to be vulnerable in the spot, until you're ready.
You have to be ready in here, not here.
Right.
This is where the disease lives.
Yeah.
It's here.
Because people are thinking
in your heart.
well, you can never have a drink again. A lot of people hate that forever word, or
It's just
you
today.
Right.
There's no forever.
Right.
I'm 63. I never even thought I'd live this long.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. And I'm so freaking big. This is the biggest I've ever been in my whole life. Because in show business, you stay small.
Teeny tiny.
Yeah. So I'm like, now I'm this big guy who's 63. Oh my God.
You look fantastic.
I feel great.
Good.
But that doesn't mean that, the wisdom that I have living a long time has been very useful for being a sponsor.
Yeah.
Because I belong to a group. It's a young people's group, and I'm meeting people that are young, and they don't know because my mask is still young, and that's a gift God gave me.
Yeah.
Because if I looked, well, I'm 63 with my walker, I wouldn't get approached like I do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the opportunity because we are a culture of image.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very right about
keeping
that.
my body healthy and my mind and my soul.
Yeah.
And, that really helps me be able to help so many more people.
When did you start sponsoring people?
Probably, I was done with my steps and I was probably 5 months sober, and my sponsor went to the Bahamas, and we were done with the book. And he said, because he makes me do homework every day like I did you. You get through it pretty quick. Yeah. And he was much more stern with me than I was with you. No, he was. Well, because he was ready.
Yeah.
And he said, now, I said, what do I do now? He says, you're going to help somebody else. The next day, I was working at the Y in Providence. Wow. And the bookkeeper, Emily, yeah. She has more time than me, but she had no recovery. And she was like, what is going on with you? I said, I'm blessed. And she's like, right? And she started crying. I said, what is wrong with you? And then it all came out. And so we started going to meetings. She was hurt by women a lot. She's unusually beautiful. Now, this was 18 years ago. She looks like, what she looks like now. Straight out 10. Stunningly beautiful. Her soul is beautiful. She's open like you and beautiful. And we would go to meetings. I'll never forget the old timers. You can't be going with a woman. I'm like, dude, we share makeup tips. Like, we're not, come on.
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping with her.
Right.
She's not a big enough top for me, and they would laugh, and it would disarm them with humor.
Sure.
And then we started going to tons of meetings. We went to 5 meetings a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
'Cause it was just what we did.
Yeah.
And we both got well, and she went through the book with Mike. Mike P. You would have loved him. Yeah. He's passed now, but he started doing it after we did it together.
Mikey Eyes?
No, Mike P. He was an Irishman. Blue eyes would look right through your soul.
Yeah.
Like I look at you. He would look at me, and I.
I love it.
Yeah, somebody looking into you.
Yeah.
It was scary.
I wasn't. That's connection.
Yes,
right?
And I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to connection. It frightened me. It was the energy of it, of unconditional love.
Sure.
Which I carry now.
Yeah.
To everyone that I meet.
I love that.
I have an open, unconditional love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Children, animals, they just light up. Because it's an energy that I carry that it was a gift.
Sure.
Everyone has the ability to have that gift.
Right.
Unconditional love. For me, it was meditation.
Yeah.
I meditate an hour in the morning every day.
Wow.
Clear my mind. Nothing's going through my mind but being present with you right now. Sitting here discussing. This is where I'm at. My mind used to grab me, pull me away, and then start dialogue. And you're still talking to me. And I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Because my mind has got a narrative going. I would be like this massive overthinker. Ruin my happiness. Ruin my joy.
Yep.
Ruin my relationships were awful. Because I didn't like the confrontation. And I did not like to be told what to do. I thought I knew everything because I was so wise. I was very go-getter for work, though.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Love that.
Bring it. Yeah, after I started working, I was certified as a personal trainer. I opened my own business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Emily ended up working for me. Like, yeah, I had people working when I wasn't there, so it made money. It was very super profitable. And COVID didn't do so good for stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What were trying to deal with intimate relationships in like your first couple of years of recovery? Like,
I didn't. I was celibate.
Didn't.
Because I had to break the bond between drugs and alcohol and sex.
Yeah.
That was hard for me. And porn. I had to cut everything off. And that was for me. I could not do that. I struggled for a lot of years having connections. I could have sex with you, but you have to leave.
Oh.
Yeah, I could not. I'm gay. That's very common.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard for me to meet people. I mean, it's still not hard.
Yeah.
I meet young people.
I love it.
That's not a... No.
Oh, I love that.
But here's the thing
Love
now.
the confidence.
It's like, yes, you have rippled abs, you're gorgeous, but as soon as you talk, you're ruining it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that man anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And my body still works and responds, but now I have a spirit that wants the person that is moral, kind, considerate, patient, tolerant, willing to listen to me. Because I'm a giver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to learn the self-worth lesson that giving is not enough. I have to actually like you. I always wanted you to like me.
Yeah.
I always wanted you to like me. And now today, that is not what's happening. If you give me energy that's not compatible with mine,
Done.
I just leave.
Oh, I love that.
I have had a really dear friend of mine give me some toxic energy, and I just ended the relationship.
Right.
That must have been really hard.
No, actually, it was easy because I make choices today.
Oh.
I don't. If I'm at a party and they get out drugs,
Yeah.
I just excuse myself.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if you smoke pot; it's
Yeah.
legal.
Yeah.
I am not going to be around
So
it.
I'm gonna.
I'm going to leave. I'll go to a party. I don't drink. I never set my drink down. If I do, I never return to it. I take it with me. I've learned all this stuff in recovery.
Yeah.
Drive my own car.
Smart.
I'm highly social and extremely intelligent. I can talk about multiple subjects. So if you're so drunk that you can't keep up with my energy, I'll just remove myself. It's none of my business what you're doing because I can't make you sober.
So what was the transition for when of the you wanting people to like you, and then that transition there? Like, when did you see that change?
About 3 years ago, I was at the gym and I met a man, and we never talked. I don't know his name or his number. I don't know any of his information. I don't even know him. But the energy that was placed in this relationship caused me to help to self-reflect. It was a gift God gave me, but it was the most painful recovery I'd ever been through because I had to look at my dark side of myself.
Yeah.
Things that I didn't want to look at in step work, things that I actually didn't know existed in me, the low self-worth, the people-pleasing, the side of myself that would allow someone to harm me emotionally that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. And I could work on it because I have a team. I have a recovery team. People that have known me my entire recovery. I talk to 15 people a day in recovery.
Wow.
And now I have my boys that I talk to that I'm helping now will just soon be where I'm at. Because you will be me.
That.
This is going to be you. It just will happen. And it will be the driving force of your new life. Yeah. It'll be very apparent. It's like Brian.
Yeah.
Great example.
Yeah.
Brian's me.
And so Brian is one of Eddie's sponsees. And Brian, we would meet up, Eddie, Brian, and 3 of his new sponsees, Eddie's new sponsees. And Brian would bring us through the book. And as part of going through the steps.
Right.
So Eddie would take care of the one-on-one with his sponsees, but Brian would bring us through the steps. And Brian did a great job.
Did a great job.
He was, I actually remember when Brian first came into the halls, because I would see him, he would sit in that right chair up at early.
Oh, yeah.
Every single morning.
Right.
But he was there every single morning. Man.
Every single morning.
Wow.
Every single morning. And this was like 9-10 years
Yeah,
ago,
9 years,
something
so
like that. And now bringing people through the book, and we just finished the book yesterday.
Oh wow.
Me and one of the other sponsees, and it was great to have that connection with other people going through the entire book. Like I had, of course, never made it through the entire book. So
you have now.
I have now, and
It was a good deal, wasn't it?
It was
good.
It was something that was imperative to my long-term recovery.
Yes.
And my short-term recovery. I took it very seriously. I think I missed 1 week.
Right.
Because of a ride situation. But I made sure that it was very important to me that I made it every week, and I was ready, I was prepared, I had everything with me. I took it very seriously while I was there. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's helped me today is being prepared, being ready for certain things that are going to happen, and the things that I don't know are going to pop up. Like, I'm prepared if like my grandparents died about a month and a half ago. My grandfather died, and then within a month, my grandmother died. All while I was 2 months sober.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things on my list that if that happened, because I loved my grandparents. Right. They were the most amazing people. If somebody close to me dies, I'm going to go use, because I deserve to go use. I have a free pass because nobody's going to say shit if I go and relapse. And that was always in my head, But I was prepared for that. I was going to group all the time. I was going through the steps with you. I was calling you every day. I was talking to you every day about it. I was talking to my friends every day about it. And I was going to meetings every day. If I wasn't doing all that stuff, I would not be prepared for a situation that I knew in the past I was going to go use drink or drink or use.
That's
drugs,
correct.
And I had never in my life been prepared the way I've been in these few short months.
It's called using the tools of recovery.
Yeah.
Everything you described.
Right.
And Brian helping you, he has no sponsees. So helping you helped him.
Right.
He changed by helping them.
Wow.
He grew. And I knew that he needed to do something.
Yeah.
So I assign
Oh, I love that.
sponsees, which it will happen for you.
Yeah.
It helps them be a part of, helps the new people feel a part of, and they all connect.
Love that.
Me too.
When did you start doing groups like that?
Probably 10 years ago.
Okay, so you didn't always do
No, it never was that way.
Yeah.
But what it was is I needed the people that were shyer, that were having trouble. Like, that's not your journey.
Yeah.
Like, Brian was more introverted.
Yeah.
And I had to, I've never, ever sponsored somebody like I did Brian. Because I'm the workout guy and the eating good guy, and
Yeah.
he was fat, and he was, wasn't, working out, and I would not be as spiritually nurturing in those areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never told him he had to work out. I never told him anything. Get sponsees. I never did. I just allowed him to grow at his own pace and be present.
Yeah.
It was really good for my spirituality because I had to adapt to survive. There's not one cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that lesson. It was really good for my spirituality. And him asking him to help you was right up his alley because he could feel in control.
Yeah.
He reads he went to Yale.
Oh, so
So
reads
he's
really
like
well.
brilliant. And except he had introvert. And he got out of himself. Small group,
Sure.
all men.
Yeah.
You're all successful. You all have jobs and children. And, it's not like I brought some homeless person from South Providence.
Right.
We were all people in our area. And he could, and you showed up. You did your thing.
Yeah.
He's working now with one other sponsee that wasn't as far along. But it's funny because you've gone so far and the other ones have more time than you.
Yeah.
Which just really baffles me.
Yeah, it's good.
Because you think
me
time
too.
means I'm well.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, it's all up here.
It's in here too.
Yeah.
How willing am I to look at myself? That situation we were just talking about, the darkness.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was there. Me not wanting to let somebody close to me. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So I got to feel unconditional love, and he was a narcissist. It was like perfect. And he was so hateful. I just loved it because that helped me get well. He's an addict, I believe. I don't know what he is. I'm just saying how I felt.
Yeah.
My perception of what was happening.
Yeah, right.
And that manipulation and the just the whole horror show. It was like the most perfect for me because I healed.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't even know if he's still living. But I know that I healed, and that was my gift to me. And you've got to be that way in recovery.
Sure.
You just talked about all the tools you had for Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have made a choice anytime you wanted. You
Yeah.
chose your tools.
Absolutely.
And you talked about it.
And you talked about it, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
My mom is at the end of her journey, and I know I can call you.
Yeah.
And I know that you will answer.
Yeah.
And, okay, dude, want to meet or whatever we do. But I have a ton of people like that around me.
Yeah. That's
Because
important.
I've been taking care of my mom for 18 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I never thought she'd live this long.
Yeah.
I was going to come from Miami. She was going to die. And I was going to fly right back and get into vodka. I never thought I'd move here
Wow.
and change and grow. And I've never used alcohol, drugs in Rhode Island ever.
Really?
No. I got sober here. I didn't go to treatment or detox. I
Yeah.
just sat in the front row.
Yeah.
They gave me a half a cup of coffee. I'd spill it. I couldn't speak. I did not look like this. I had really long hair. I was 135 pounds, malnourished, sleep deprived, completely dehydrated. It took me a whole year to drink water and not feel thirsty.
Really?
A year.
That's a long time.
What attracted you to meeting?
That's a long time.
This was all God thing because I would pray on the beach, drinking, crying, lost, and the sunrise. It's South
wow.
Beach.
Yeah.
And and God followed through because I was ready. So my sister called me. I came here. As soon as I got here, I said, I need to go to a meeting.
Okay.
It's a God thing.
Had you ever been to a meeting before?
No.
Oh.
I didn't know anything about it.
That was your first meeting, was in Rhode Island?
First meeting in Rhode Island, and I got a chance to understand what it was because everyone there, I didn't like straight people because they were my problem. They weren't. They loved me. I was like the only gay guy. And I'm not even a regular gay that blends in. I never blended in. Look at me. I don't sound the same, look the same, act the same. My energy signature is not the same.
Yeah.
I was like the thumb on a handful of fingers and nobody cared.
Wow.
They embraced me and they were so nice. Billy Green.
Yeah.
He's very masculine. Very masculine. Crane operator, just super masculine. And he was the nicest guy. We would never have met if we would not have been there because he was accepting. He would be somebody who wouldn't accept me in my world,
Oh, yeah.
in my mind.
Sure.
And he's just amazing. And his recovery's amazing.
Oh, my God. He's one of the best guys I like listening to.
Yeah. So I know his family, his wife, and, we would never have met in social circles. Yeah, it's show business and the crane operator.
I
Dude,
know, right?
Please. And he's amazing for me. And we're so, I hugged him this morning because he's got his his hip operated on it, or knee. And, I could check on him and see how he was. And that's AA.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that. Edit. That's 12-step program.
Yes.
What, tell me the emotions that go through for you when a sponsor you've been sponsoring for a long time goes back out.
Great question.
Yeah. Chris was my second sponsee, and when I first met him, it was winter. I remember, I'll never forget, because he came into Early Bird with no shoes walking through the snow.
Oh, solid.
Wow.
And so I went and bought him shoes because I'm codependent. I don't have financial problems. I have a host of other character defects. And I bought him shoes and cigarettes. I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to be doing all that. And about 3 months later, he died. He killed himself.
Yeah.
And now it's my fault. Mike Peak, dude, you're so selfish and self-centered. None of this is your fault.
Yeah.
I know why you bought him shoes. Because I'm rich. I'm from that, not that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not a Rockefeller, but I'm not from that.
Right.
I had everything I could ever want. And I know you can identify with that.
How did you deal with that?
I withdrew and self-hatred.
Yeah.
And then it gave me a chance to do the steps again.
Huh.
So every time I have a sponsees and I take people through the steps, I went through the steps too.
Oh, wow.
I would call my sponsor. He has 29 years. And it was one thing. I had one thing.
Yeah.
Because I still have stuff to work on. Now, usually I do a 10th step every night. How I do that is I text. I have accountability to text someone. She has 15 years. And it's
Good.
3 things I did well, 3 things I need to improve on, and 3 things I'm grateful for.
Every night?
Every night.
That's
and she
awesome.
texts me.
Wow.
The same?
And and we're going to work on that. And what it does, it gives me accountability.
Yeah.
I look at my improve. Oh my God, I'm like a procrastinator. Like mine's been eating and working out because I've been sick.
Yeah.
With the sinus things, I'm allergic to plants.
world.
Yeah, I'm allergic to plants. I go to church also, and they did the Easter flowers. I sit in the second row. Oh my God, water, snot, coughing. I had to leave church.
Oh, no.
Listen to my voice. This is from pollen.
Oh, yeah.
And so I recognized that taking care of myself is a big deal. Recognizing when I need to slow down, looking for balance in my friendships, in my relationships, looking for balance with my sponsees, recognizing my behavior. I didn't have that when Chris died.
Yeah.
I had none of that, and I learned all that from that death.
Oh, wow.
Plus, it brought back the death of Terry.
Oh, yeah.
And it helped me process the little tentacles from that.
Sure.
I think, too, getting close to somebody requires me to be completely open.
Yes, absolutely.
And, I see a lot of relationships I do not want. Oh, my God. like they're like a year sober and they get in these relationships and they're hostages to each other.
Yeah.
It's all codependency. It is not healthy.
Right.
Screaming and yelling. That is not solution based for me.
Right.
And it's interesting to not have sex with someone I meet because I'm gay. It was always about we don't get pregnant. Like we don't have all that. We don't have that stigma.
Yeah, right.
There's none of that.
Yeah.
You want a three-way? Okay, let's go. It's not any of that stigma. So me now, no, you have to talk to me. I want to know who you are when the mask falls off.
Yeah.
I'd rather see the maskless person right away. I don't mind seeing your dark side. I have one.
Yeah.
I embrace mine.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm very
I love
real.
that.
And then if we can stand each other, and I can accept where you, because you're going to have shortcomings. Every human does. If I can, if we can work together on how to communicate. Chemistry's huge for me, though.
Yeah.
I actually have to physically touch you. If I have chemistry, I can maybe go on to the rest. I have a whole, because I'm very sexual, and I like affection. But meeting the right person, I haven't met him yet.
Yeah.
I know he exists.
Love that.
Because I can feel the energy of it.
Okay.
It's coming now. But I had to learn that lesson. That 3-year lesson. Pain. Which is only my stuff that I didn't want to work on.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I'm so strict about you working on all your stuff.
Sure, absolutely.
Because I would rather you work on it in step work in the first beginning than to have, 15 years sober.
Yeah.
And then that happened to me.
Yeah.
I was devastated. Stuff I didn't want to look at.
Right.
But God wanted me to be free of that. Because I was always attracting narcissistic men. No wonder I wasn't in a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't want to be with them. Oh my goodness. And I use that word loosely.
Yeah.
That's not what he is.
Sure.
I don't know him. I'm telling you my feelings
Right.
and perception of a person that has no name. I don't know him ever. And I'm glad. It made it so much easier to leave. There was no house and car and sex, and I didn't have any of that. Relationships, parents. Oh my God. That makes it harder to leave relationships. Children.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever want children?
Yeah, I'd be a very good dad. I have a lot of nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Tons. I mean, I know I'm older, but I would still have a kid in a minute.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a place where I could actually give them something. Yeah. Having children and not being able to be whole is only teaching a children to have character defects and be unwhole. Because the first 7 years, however you act, that's who you get.
Yeah.
Their subconscious mind is set. They're going to have to work on it the rest of their lives. There's nothing you can do. So people that have all these alcohol and drug problems with young children, they have seen all of it. They've seen all the behavior. They have to deal with it when they get older. There's nothing you can do. They're already there. It's not even, don't even be mad at yourself. This was what they signed up for. Because I believe we pick our parents.
Sure.
Mine were both narcissists.
See the trend?
See the trend? It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you say narcissist,
Self-absorbed.
self-absorbed.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Self-centered. Doesn't think of other people's feelings.
Yep.
Will rage if they don't get their way. Scream if they don't have their way. Control issues. Believing that their way is the only way.
So an addict.
Well, I will say right now that a lot of addicts that I've seen, from my perception only, have this behavior.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying the word narcissist is new to culture.
Yeah.
But I say I see my parents. My mother is very manipulative.
Yeah.
Extremely. As now that I've gotten better in this last 3 years, she's pissed. Because I don't just do what she wants.
Sure.
No.
Yeah.
And if you act badly, I just leave. My siblings, oh my God. If they act badly, I leave.
Wow.
I am not, because my sister is getting upset that my mom is passing. And she acted out at the hospital. I just cut her off. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm not doing somebody emotionally unregulated anymore.
Yeah.
I will leave if you would like to calm down and we can reconnect. But I'm not anybody's whooping boy.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to. Can you identify?
Absolutely. Well, I was just going to say, like, boundaries are a
Huge.
huge thing.
And you can learn them all you want.
Oh, yeah.
Application is the key.
Yeah.
And that's not harming anybody. I don't have to harm anybody to cut them off.
Right.
I can just say, no, I'm unwilling to deal with your emotional unregulation.
Yeah, I love that word, unwilling.
Unwilling.
I started to really like that word a few months, or probably 2 months ago.
And no is a complete sentence.
Yes, I heard that the other day in a meeting, and I was like, I love that.
Sure.
And even though it's really grammar-wise, it's not, but in recovery, it definitely is. Because I can't fix anybody. Mm-hmm. If you can realize that now, you'll save yourself a lot of pain. It took me a lot of recovery because I'm giving, loving, unconditional loving, and I'm naturally wanting to help you from a genuine place of, well, you knew that. Yeah. I'm real easy to read.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing the fake mask thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm all set.
You can tell.
Yes.
Who is and who isn't.
Yes, I feel it.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of time to try to lie.
Yeah.
Because I can already hear what you're thinking.
I love that.
Yeah. That's a gift.
Yeah.
I can hear it. I can feel it. I can feel the energy and the intention by what you're saying. And almost every alcoholic I know has that.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. When you clear up,
Yeah.
you're happy now. It's so cute. But when you clear when you clear up and you start meditating and centering yourself, you will not believe your child will flat out lie to you. Would you like to try again? Because you'll know.
Yeah.
There won't be a doubt that the tone, the way they're looking, the way they're sounding, it's a whole thing that God has given me in recovery.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not, I don't care who it is.
My son is definitely me when I was younger.
I'm so sorry.
I'm like, oh, God.
You know what that is? Consequences.
Yeah, I know. I had it coming.
Because he is going to, the things you put your parents through.
I know, my poor parents.
It's going to happen to you too.
Yeah. My son's pretty good.
Yeah, but you have a
And
daughter.
my son's pretty good too. He just has the tendencies.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, but it's not the journey necessarily. It's the behavior that we feel when they're going through something that's painful.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. That doesn't have to duplicate you.
Right.
But your daughter's going to feel pain, and you can't fix it.
Yeah.
And you can't make her choices better.
Sure.
Which
is a hard thing.
Which is a hard thing because you're like, I have all this knowledge. Like, I have the formula. I can show you, and you can't fix them. It's acceptance. My niece and nephew, because I'm very close to them. That's my youngest sister's kids. And I'm just accepting. I'm older than my sister, and her, their children are like 27 and 30. And I'll share with them, and I'm watching their choices. They're much better choices than I made. But it's just what their intentions are behind their choices that I can see. I'm like, here's what's going to happen. And I'll tell them. 3 months later, oh my God, Uncle Eddie. Oh my God. No, because I can see. Yeah. And that's a gift of recovery. Because you've been through so much. Yeah. We put ourselves through much more than regular people in a shorter span of time.
Yeah. Did you think that life was going to be, I don't know, I'd say more scary after being sober? Did you were you scared for what the future would be without
without alcohol and drugs?
Yeah, without substance.
I was done.
Yeah.
I was 44. But I never thought I'd live this long. I just never did.
What a thought.
Yeah, I just never thought I'd live this long. I was very reckless. And, God restored me. I mean, I look so old. I look like 50 when I got here.
Really?
Oh, my God. This is all just and I can't even take that I'm aging now. I can see it, my body and my face, and I'm like, oh, my God, facelift. But, that's ego.
Sure.
But, and growing up in show business, dude, I don't view my face like you do. Because I've been, you're looking at yourself, and it's a youthful job. So, little eye tuck, a little lift, teeth bleaching, whatever. It's not foreign to me. So I just think of it as like regular maintenance.
Yeah.
How do how do you decide if you're going to take a sponsee or not? Like, what's that thought process? Because, I know for one instance with me, I know I was returning after a relapse, but you said, Steve, I got to be honest with you, I got a lot going on. I have to get back to you. I got to pray on it, meditate on it, and all that. I know that was a certain situation, but say a newcomer comes up to you and asks you to be a sponsor. Like, what is the thought process? Like, do you feel like if you have too many sponsees, and you can't, or what is a cap for you? Like, how does that thought process go through for you?
One of the patterns I've noticed, I'll speak at a meeting, and I have an unusual way of sharing, of course. The excitement of the share will bring people towards me. And the first thing I do is I say, here's my phone number. Call me tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I give them a time. 99 out of 100 will not call.
Really?
One will call.
Huh.
Out of that 100, I give instant homework. All right, you're going to list powerless, unmanageable. I need 10 things you're powerless over, 10 things you're unmanageable over, and the definition of both. Call me tomorrow. Click. If they do not call me with the homework, they'll call me to complain, whine, my wife, my children, my job. Click. Why did you hang up, dude? What did I ask you to do? You're not following instructions. Are you learning impaired? Is there something we need to talk about? What? Homework. Did you not clearly hear me? I just set down the law.
I love it.
And all that does is it weeds out all the weak,
Yep.
all the people that are not interested because I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah.
And I'm not ruining their next opportunity to get sober by taking them through the steps and spending a lot of time and energy on someone who's not ready.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And Dia,
That makes sense.
I don't play the radio one drop.
Is it only men? Do you sponsor only men?
I have female sponsees.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I'm not going to sleep with them.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, I get unusually beautiful women, have terrible problems with men and other women. So what I do is I take them through the first 3 steps, and then I have now gotten I know hundreds of people because I did a lot of service work. I used to do plays. Yeah. He helped me with a play once. And once you perform in front of 1,500 people a few times, they think they know you.
Oh, of course.
I've written plays. I use my art to help AA.
Yeah.
The 12-step program. And I didn't say that. We're editing that out. And what it taught me was do the first 3 steps, and then now you're going to introduce her to a woman in her 50s that's non-stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
A regular housewife woman with a few extra pounds. And who's
Smart.
got no?
Smart.
I disarming her, and she's completely comfortable with herself.
Yeah.
And completely healed and calm. And I introduce them, and I walk away. and once I do that, the woman already knows what's happening. Huh. I can't teach a woman how to be a woman in recovery.
Okay.
True.
But I can be loving, patient, tolerant, kind, because women have abortions and they're traumatized. Yeah. Women have things that are going on with them that, dude, please. I don't have all that. Yeah. Now, I have a few that are older in their 50s, and that is not an issue because they're already divorced, they don't have kids.
Sure.
All that stuff is done. But if they're young, especially, I need to give them that opportunity to connect because women have different issues than we do. Yeah. If there's 10 women in here right now, and they're, oh, how good that, and a gorgeous, stunning, naked underwear model walks in, they all go, oh. They change. Yeah. They all change into their predator selves.
Men do that too.
Yes.
To an effect.
But we were talking about women.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He could never stay on topic.
But thanks for backing us up, Steve.
All right, for somebody that's worked with both men and women closely and had to really get into their lives. Who would you say, men or women, is harder for them to get vulnerable with you?
Men.
Men.
I have a great advantage. Like I said, the energy, I could just change my energy to feminine energy.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they don't know what they're feeling. I can change my energy completely. And I am not visibly threatening.
Yeah.
I don't look like a thug. I have no tattoos. I have no earrings. I dress conservative, pretty much. I'm intelligent. I use all my adjectives and pronouns. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't really cuss. I can, but I'm not, I work on that a lot. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I had a friend say that a couple weeks ago, saying that I'm going to try and stop.
You have to really consciously work on it.
Yeah.
I'm a listener.
Yeah.
So that I can respond correctly. I'm not mean at all. I'm exceedingly direct to the point that the most masculine man will be disarmed. Because I've had one that was like 6'5", he was huge. I'm like, dude, I will crush you.
Yeah.
And I mean it.
I love it.
And he was like, no, because it's energy.
Yes.
I don't have to lift a finger.
Yeah.
This is a weapon. This is a severe weapon. And energy is real.
I feel it.
And we are sensitive to energy. We are energy readers. We'll walk into a room and read it. And we just did that to survive. Once we come out of survival mode, calm our central nervous system down, you get a chance to use it to help others. That's the gift.
Yeah.
That's what I do all day. I work at a restaurant right now as I'm transitioning out of working. Yay. And I meet all these wonderful people, and I can be my original self. And they're just so relaxed.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just so, and I make so much money because, there's no other gay waiters there. That really helps. But I connect.
It's great.
Because of recovery.
Yeah.
And it's a gift. We have great gifts.
Right.
We're super nice. And when we're okay with ourselves, we can give other people that.
Sure.
That's really nice.
Super
and since there's so very few of us that stay sober, I've gone to 53 funerals in 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I can drink one more time. Went up the wrong way on 95, killed himself. 3 jumped off the Newport Bridge. Tons of ODs. Oh, I can smoke pot again, laced with fentanyl. Oh, no, I'll just do that pill one more time.
Yeah.
Except it's laced.
Yeah.
Because you pissed somebody off when you were drinking. Whatever. Tons.
Yeah, you can't really tell what's in what now.
No,
That's
it's
for sure.
scary.
What's
But
different?
Yeah, it is different.
I work at a restaurant. There's like 80 different vodkas that were not even there when I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
No, I'm not kidding. I don't bartend. It doesn't bother me, but I can. But I don't even know how to make a lot of these drinks. I just ask them.
I can
I
see
ask
you
them-
being a great waiter, though.
Oh, no, I'm super good.
Yeah.
Because
I can
I don't
see it.
walk food. I don't do dishes.
Yeah.
I don't cook. I stay with my people. My boss just brings me my food.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm like,
He's like, just keep talking.
no, I just talk.
Keep having
And-
the customers come back.
No, they do, and they
love it.
They drink a lot, but I only serve a couple drinks. I don't
Yeah.
do you don't drink 10 drinks with me, dude. I'm calling your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
good.
it's Warwick.
Yeah.
We're not in New York.
I know.
Everybody's related to everybody.
I know your sister's cousin.
Yeah, and I've slept with your
you're-
brother's wife's mother's son, and they just laugh because it's true. And he was hot. They say, "Oh my God, Steven!" See, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God,
Oh,
it's
I
so
love it.
Warwick.
Yeah.
Rhode Island's tiny.
Yeah.
I love Rhode Island, though.
Me too.
I really do.
Saved my life.
Can you see yourself being here forever?
I don't do ever. I do
Okay.
today.
I like that.
My mom's going to pass. Probably won't last this year. I don't know. I've had trouble meeting a partner. If I meet a partner, yeah, I'll stay.
Yeah.
But if I don't, I'll move to Boston most likely.
You will?
Well, yeah, because my shot changes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just get a nice place.
Yeah.
And,
Why Boston?
because there's more gay people there.
I love it. Okay.
It's just more people.
Yeah.
And my odds would be greater. I'm attracted to younger people, but like I said, unless they emotionally work on themselves
I know.
and educate themselves, I have nothing in common with you. I don't do the temper tantrums and all the drama. And the victim,
Oh yeah.
I get the violin out.
Oh yeah. The big violin.
Yeah, not the little one, the big one.
Do you are the majority of your friends here, are they sober? Or do you have a group of
No, I have a group at the restaurant that aren't. But I'm open and out. Like they know I'm gay, they know I'm sober. I don't play. If they do drugs at work, I verbally bring it up in the open. Doing drugs at work is not healthy.
Yeah.
I'll just say it
Good.
in front of everybody. And they sees. Don't do drugs at work.
Yeah.
Because it's such a waste of energy.
Ugh.
And you know what? You're wrecking my day at work. Because now you can't do your job.
Yeah.
I used to love doing drugs at work.
Everybody in the restaurant business does drugs at work. But there's a lot of people sober where I work.
Yep.
I mean, more time than I have.
Really?
Yeah.
There's
That's
a
cool.
few of them. A few of them.
My husband has a coworker who they're both bartenders, but she's been sober for a long time, and I'm like, I just don't think I could go back to bartending.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
You don't have to.
I would never.
I did until I was. I've only been there 12 years.
Yeah.
And I tried to work at a 5-star restaurant. They loved me. I got like 85 reviews on Yelp. Like,
wow.
Yeah, like it just took over.
Yeah.
Because of my personality. But you know what? I'm not snotty enough to work in a 5-star restaurant. I'm more country and relaxed and open. They want to be. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't want that.
I'm not that personality, and I tried to do it because I'd never worked in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I tried to be snotty, and I'm like, I'm gonna laugh at myself here in a minute, And they love me because people really like me. But so I left and I went to this job I have now, and it's so relaxed.
Good.
I like that, and my bosses are super cool.
That's awesome.
And they're my age, and
love that.
we are close, and I can tell them anything, and they can tell me what's going on with them, and it's very uniquely personal.
Okay, I like that.
And I don't even have to stay there. I just like the person. I like them.
Yeah. How long have you been there for?
12 years.
Wow. It's a long time.
But I would only work one day.
Yeah.
Usually. Now I'm working a little bit more. But I just worked one day.
My longest restaurant job was 9 years, and I thought that was a lot.
It is a long time. Now, there's a whole group that are my age and a whole group that are young. And the younger people, I've watched their usage go down or they even stop.
Yeah.
What was I talk to them?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, and then I tell them my story. They're like, holy shit.
Wait, how old? Like a lot younger?
No, like 18.
Yeah.
They hire 15-year-olds to do dishes.
Sure. Right.
And to bus. And then there was one guy, I just saw him yesterday, and he's going to be a policeman now. But he, I would tell him, I said, if you want to do this, and he was 15 when I met him, I said, if you don't stop drinking, I can smell it. How can you smell it? It's coming out of your central nervous system and your circulatory system, all of your skin.
Yeah.
You can remember. Nobody can smell me.
Yeah.
And now he's a policeman, and he's really doing well, and he's like, because you talk to people like we talk to them, and it changes people.
Yeah.
And they're not alcoholics.
Right.
But it is an experience that we have.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's from a place of truth.
Of course.
It's not like you're lying. They could tell.
Right. Exactly.
The restaurant business could be treacherous, though.
Oh, it's awful. I don't
Where
know.
were you? Where did you work?
I worked at Bravo in Providence.
Oh, I am so sorry. Who was the manager?
There was a bunch of people.
I worked at Massimo.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And you worked there too?
Yeah, I worked when it first opened.
So did I.
Oh, my God.
How did you not remember me?
Familiar. You did look familiar.
Yeah, when we sat at the table upstairs?
Yes.
Yeah, and we did the drinking and everybody got drunk?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't drink.
Oh, wow.
You drank.
I did.
That's probably why I don't remember you. Everybody got wasted. We did a wine tasting.
Yeah,
but it was all snotty wine.
I definitely remember you now. I looked at you when I was like, I know who he is.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Yes.
And I stayed.
I hated that place.
I know. Well, the boss was really treacherous, but she couldn't be mean to me because I had like all these reviews on Yelp. It saved her business.
You were a great waiter.
Yeah. I was very unusual.
You were so good.
She had trouble managing me.
How funny is that?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I definitely remember.
I'm not easy to manage.
Yeah.
No, because my personality is so strong.
She liked me.
How were you at your job?
I was a really good waiter.
Yeah.
But I also
Drank
a lot.
But I didn't drink as much as like a lot of people do.
It was
But I did
John.
get drunk at that
It was
one.
John.
Yeah.
Who worked at Bravo, right?
Yes, my husband is best friends with the twins.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to torture his brother.
Who, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
What, the
I would
bartender?
torture him because he's a smartass. And he would start being a smartass. My brain works so fast.
Eddie, we definitely worked a lot of shifts together when we were there, because I remember.
Yep.
That is really funny.
We're down.
I'm so sorry.
No. No, it's fine.
I knew.
But I just didn't remember because you just seem different.
Yeah,
you are different.
Yeah.
You're a different woman. Your energy signature is different. I'm an energy reader.
Good.
So, yeah, I could just feel you just don't feel like the same person I met.
No.
And that was...
I'm so glad I'm not.
That was 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, 10 years ago. That was like 3 facelifts ago. And like 1,800 Botox shots.
How funny is this? What a small world.
There's no coincidences.
No, there's not.
There was a reason this happened.
Yes, there was.
And you get a chance to reflect and work on yourself.
Oh my God, I love this even more. Like
and if you want this to be successful, you have to work on your steps right away.
I know.
You can't give away something you don't have.
Yeah.
And you have a great anchor.
I do.
And I'll come back whenever you want.
I would love that.
Because it really, editing this and getting yourself into a position of on all platforms will drive business to the YouTube.
Yeah.
And that will create a great talk. If you send this to me, edited, I'll put it on because I have 4,000 people on my platform.
Oh, I believe
and that will allow you to get it out.
Yeah.
Because we'll just send me clips or whatever, and I'll put it into my Facebook and Instagram, and that'll drive business to your.
Oh my God, I love this.
I'm not kidding. It really works.
That would be huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, where our goal is to to normalize recovery and addiction. It's such a.
It's more normalized now than it ever has been.
I know, thank God. It just I feel like still some people don't understand.
Well, that's because they don't want to, honey. I go to a church. They completely embrace me. I'm gay. I go to a Baptist church. Oh, my God. I'm gay, and I'm sober. They asked me within a month there to bring a meeting in. And the meeting's nice. It's a beautiful place to meet.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Really?
I'll have you come.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I could have you speak even. I can set it up. It'd be good for you. It's a young people's group.
He's making me speak on Saturday.
He's not making you. Don't use that victim shit with me.
I know, right? All right,
when you're
I
asked to do
chose to
something,
do
you do it.
I did. I chose to do it.
Yeah.
I just
when
don't
you're
like
asked,
speaking in
you
crowds,
do it.
but I do it.
Because there is a reason God had used him to ask you.
Oh.
This is all by design.
Yeah, I love
Us
that.
meeting again.
Yep, I know.
Me sponsoring him 3 times.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
She's worried that because there's going to be so many people there, and
don't think about that.
She's like, there's going to be like 30 people there. I said, no, it's going to be like 15, 20. It's going to be like 70, 80 people.
But you're not.
What the fuck is happening?
Okay, here's what you do. Here's what you do.
Oh my God.
Here's what you
Steve.
do. You go in. You make sure you tell the person that you're there, and be responsible. Then go in the bathroom, and then pray. Connect with your higher self.
Yeah.
And say, speak through me.
Oh, I love that. I just felt like you spoke through me.
Higher self.
Okay.
Because you have a soul.
Yes.
Actually, we're all one. This is all
I think
one.
it's gonna be good.
We're all connected.
Yeah.
There's not
But thanks for lying.
We're all one. We just have different expressions.
You're in recovery. You can't lie.
Oh, please. And stop thinking about how many people are there.
I know.
Because 2/3 of them are mentally, spiritually sick.
Yeah.
And you're going to maybe turn the tide for them.
Did you have a spiritual awakening?
I've had many.
I love it. What was your first one?
When I was young, before I drank and drugged.
Okay.
I remember because it was so profound that I would be on some way that I will send a message to so many people at the same time. And this is probably the start for me because I see this as a vehicle for me that I can start something that would, I'm working on a book.
Love that.
Oh, awesome.
That's
And
awesome.
it's only going to just be about my experience.
Cool.
Because that's all I have to offer.
I think that
But
will
my
attract so many
experience
people.
is so intense with as many trials that I had to overcome that it can help many people. So this is my journey. But God told me that as a child, a little child.
Yeah.
And then I was put through so much hell.
Huh.
But I know why. Because I am very strong.
Yes.
There is actually no doubt that I have strength. It's like so intense. And I'm so confident with it. You know, and that's the pain.
Yeah.
Working through all of that pain. I'm in recovery for multiple things. The abandonment, and which comes the other side of it, which is the avoidant.
Yeah.
If you try to suffocate me, dude, I run. If you try to, like, too much.
Yeah.
And so I've avoided abandonment, alcohol, drugs, codependency, inner child. Because the inner child, I was, you know, having sex at 9 is, like, out of the question. And you know how I woke up to that? My nephew was 9. And I just started crying.
Wow.
I'd forgotten.
Oh, wow.
And then I had the worst chest pain I'd ever had. I thought I was having a heart attack. My sponsor said, okay, I don't know what to do with this. We are going to find somebody together. And he helped me find, it was a child psychologist that just did children, but he was gay. And he says, okay. He knew what it was just looking at me.
Yeah.
And I went to see him after this Saturday morning meeting for an entire year.
Oh my gosh.
And at the end of the year, he said, you're completely healed.
Whoa. Did you feel it?
Yeah. By then, it was just conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't believe in going to therapy and doing nothing.
Right.
If I'm going to go, I want assignments. What can I do?
Yeah.
He had me use my non-dominant hand, draw a picture of myself as a child. I drew a child with no hands and no mouth.
Wow.
I had no way to express myself,
or
and I
to
had
protect
no
a
hands
little
to
bit.
make any change.
Interesting.
Powerless child.
Wow.
And that, he
That's
said,
strong.
is who I was drugging.
Sure.
So I could have sex with who I wanted and not have these consequences. I was drugging my inner child and not listening because he had no voice.
Wow.
He would just have temper tantrums and I would act out. It was like, oh.
That's like a gut punch,
I-
right? Yeah.
And it's heavy.
Yeah.
It was really heavy. He held no punches.
We should do that assignment. When we're done, we'll write it. We should do it. And we'll
No,
we'll
see what comes
exchange.
out.
Yeah.
You pray first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I should.
Are you meditating yet?
I am meditating, but I don't
Listen
do-
to that
I
tonage.
know.
I am!
That sounded
Damn
like,
it!
sounded like a lie.
It sounded like
I'm
a
not
fat
lying.
lie.
I do music at night. Like that's my
I didn't ask you that.
meditation.
Why are you avoiding the question? Are you
I
meditating?
guess not.
All right, so
Do you
then
pray?
I say a prayer in the morning that my sponsor gave me, and
Okay.
I read it off.
And you know what? That's a great way to start. That's why they have them in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some people don't even know how to pray. I was raised in church, so the praying part was easy.
Yeah, I think that's
But
what it
the
is.
meditation,
I don't know how.
that was a job.
Yeah, she gave me a few things to say in the morning, and I say them every morning. So,
Good.
Which is good.
You're still sober.
She's fantastic.
You're reasonably healthy.
I am healthy.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Thank you.
I didn't recognize you from the past when you were drunk at the opening meeting of Massimo.
It was not the opening.
They had
We
14.
were already hired.
There was 14 bottles of wine.
Oh, yeah.
And they all
yeah,
drank
and
it.
5 of us after were like, yeah, we're not working.
I know, you
And,
could feel
yeah,
it.
and I
You're-
was like, there was no way I could work.
Yeah.
And
There was like-
I do remember my husband. He was like, "Did you drink at the thing?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he was like,
Everybody
I was like,
else-
They literally gave us like so much wine.
No, I mean, and they explained it all. It wasn't just drinking.
Yeah.
No, the really, like, these are $250, $300 bottle of wine.
and they were big
This is from the
pours.
northern part
Yeah.
of Italy.
Yeah.
It was like, and with paperwork, this was
Yes.
it was a job.
Right.
You had to pass shit in order. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not gonna fucking.
I
pass
used to
anything.
sell them. I
Sell what?
love selling expensive wine.
Oh yeah, you were so good at that.
I loved it.
I think you're the only one that really. Sold.
I
You and,
sold a
There
ton
was
of
that
them.
other guy, that man, that he ended up Nick. He ended
Yeah,
up becoming. a
Nick was
manager.
really, but he
Yeah.
had all this training before me.
He was a really good waiter.
He was a really good waiter.
Really good waiter.
Yeah, he struggled with his identity though.
Oh,
Yeah, he really struggled.
I see.
Poor
I left
thing.
way before that
Yeah.
even happened.
Well, no, he started working for the other
Oh
restaurant.
yeah, Pane Vino.
Yeah, Pane Vino,
Yeah.
but he struggled with his identity. That is so hard to watch
Yeah,
when you're actively drinking
Sure.
and struggling with reality.
yeah.
It's terrible to watch.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh,
Yeah. Totally disconnected with who you are,
And
who you think you are.
who you think you are, and
Yeah.
oh my God.
Wait,
And you know, it's really hard to lie to me, dude. I'm gay.
yeah. Was that when we worked at Massimo? Was that How long were you in Rhode Island for?
Oh, God.
A while?
No, yeah, because I've been here 18 years.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was 8 years sober.
So it was 8 years before. Yeah.
But I remember because I remember looking over in a mirror. I was 8 years sober, and I was like, wow, I'm good looking. No, because I had not looked at myself
in the mirror
from a place of truth.
Oh, I like it.
8 years is a long time.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to recover. This is not a disease that's like, that's why they say one day at a time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'd kill yourself.
Sure.
Because it takes a long time to get well. To like truly, for me.
Yeah.
You know, and this is sponsoring people, step work, being in plays, service work, being a GSR. Like, I'm talking in AA, not on the fringe.
Yeah.
Not all pretty. Serious. I was going to the prison.
Wow. Yeah. I was going to ask, have you done commitments and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I went to the prison for an entire year.
Oh
now,
my God.
here's the thing. That? I did drink and drive. I am not a criminal person because you would always remember me. I mean, if you were an anonymous-looking person to be a con man, you're supposed to be neutral. Nobody can remember you. That's not my story. Yeah. So I never did anything like that. I didn't deal drugs because I just never did that. But I did drink and drive. So when they asked me where I wanted to go, they were like, do you want to go to Maximum? Dude, I've never serial killed a whole family. No. What about Medium? I'm not a gun robber. I don't rob banks. I'll go to Minimum. And there they were, us. Yeah. They drank and drove, or they, didn't pay their alimony because they drank and drove or child support or stuff that I could have done.
Sure.
And I recognized a few of them from the meeting. And I did that for a year. It was the most inconvenient service assignment I ever did.
Really?
Because you have to park, go in. There's a whole thing about security. To get through. They don't just, and you have to certify.
Yeah.
They gave me my BCI. It was like one page with my date of birth, my name, my social security number, and nothing.
Oh, my God.
You can't have anything on it.
Wow.
And if you do, it has to be so far back in the past that you're willing to help them. And those are the guys that go to Max.
Max, yeah.
Because you have to be, look at me. Yeah. I'm too pretty for prison.
Way too pretty.
Way. If you've never seen a woman in years, and here comes the gay guy, I'd probably be rich in there. But...
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I love how small this world is.
No, it is a very small world. But this was by design.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
You have to understand. This was by design. This was by design.
Yeah.
And that you can do this and get well.
Yeah.
Step work, getting closer to God. The whole point of the book is to find a power greater than yourself to help you deal with your problem with drinking and doing drugs. And then your thinking.
Yeah, about it.
Because once you stop doing drugs, you're stuck with your mind. And it's severe mental illness. I went to a meeting today. She was 6 years sober. 3 people got up and left as she was sharing.
Why?
She was talking about her character defects and her mental illness before she drank. And what it brought up in them was their unaddressed mental health problems. I was comfortable. I already know that I can be crazy if I don't take care of myself.
Yeah, sure.
And so I've already dealt with all those shadow sides. So I was comfortable. Like, she was ADD and OCD, all these different things. And she was a little bipolar. I don't have that. Yeah. But I do have the OCD. And, I have to vacuum the carpet before I leave. I just have to. Yeah. It can't have...
Every time you leave the house?
You should see my house.
You probably have a clean fucking
house. If you open a drawer, it's all folded.
Oh.
Yeah.
The closet, it's all hanging. All the hangers are the same color. Like, everything is super clean. And then every year, I go through all my clothes, give half of them to people that are looking for jobs.
Love that.
That are in treatment centers or because I want them to fucking work and pay taxes.
That's very considerate of you.
No, because they need to pay.
Very nice.
Because they're getting all that stuff. Yeah. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it does.
And but it helps. I'm not a big person.
You must feel good.
Yeah, but it gives me permission now to shop more. But I don't have children.
There you go.
And I don't have a partner. I spend my money on myself.
Yeah. Sure.
But I have beautiful, beautiful place. It's like It's so beautiful visual.
And
And it's so peaceful. The energy in there is just love.
Oh, I love
I have
it.
people come over and they're like, oh my God. Like they feel it when they walk in there, and I love that.
I like it.
Because it's what we put out.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Eddie, I want to thank you for coming in and doing this with us. I mean, for me, you know, having you back in my life and helping me with the steps was something that I wouldn't be as far along in my recovery if it wasn't for you in my life. And so I thank you very much for just you being in my life, but also taking the time to always check up on me, to always make sure I'm on the beam, to always make sure that I'm staying the course and stuff. And it's something that, you know, obviously God put in our path for a reason, and it means a lot to me. And thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I want to say thank you too. This was so fun. I'm so glad that I got to know you a little bit more than I had already, I guess, did. I think things are meant to happen, and I think we were definitely meant to meet. I am extremely glad that you are Steve's sponsor. I just from the short time that we knew each other, I loved you. So I think that, you know, it's just I'm so glad that I went through the things that I had to go through, because then I wouldn't have met Steve, and I probably wouldn't have met you again.
No.
And like I said, I think everything happens for a reason. I am so glad I got to get to know you a little bit more, and you are always welcome on here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Eddie.
Make sure you edit the shit out of that.
Not getting edited.
Well, no, it's too long.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. That was awesome. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.